This is the Solid Signal podcast for the week of February 20th, 2023. I want to tell you a little bit of a story, and this is a story that comes from my own life. It's kind of going to sound like it's off topic, but it really is a very important story to tell, and a very important story, I think, comparing somebody else to the kind of service that we provide at Signal Group. I've been working with a company whose products, buying their products from them for about 20 years. Now, I'm not going to name the company because I don't want to expose Signal Group to any sort of liability, and this way I can talk about them anonymously and say bad things. But I have been buying their products for about 20 years, as I said. Bought several of them, recommended them to friends, always spoke very highly of them. They're good products, and I stand by that still. I bought one of their products back about a year and a half ago, and as I said, I've bought any number of their products, and sooner or later you're just going to roll the dice and get a bad one. This particular thing that I had bought about a year and a half ago stopped working not that long ago, about 3 weeks ago. The manufacturer offers a 5-year warranty, which I think is pretty generous. And so I contacted them. And actually, it's an international company. I was going to say it's a national company, but this is an international company that is supposedly known for their customer service as well as their products. And I was about to put that to the test. Initially, everything went really well. I spoke to them on a Sunday. I got all the information I needed to ship the product back off to one of their service centers. I didn't even have to pack it up. I just brought it to a local mailing place, and they were going to do all the work. And that is where things started to go terribly awry. First of all, the mailing place, who I'm also not going to name because I don't want to get sued, sat on it for 4 days for absolutely no reason. And when I finally went in to ask about it, I was treated fairly rudely, saying, "Oh, well, we just don't have time for that sort of thing." And I guess they don't. They don't have time for their customers, which is, I guess, why they're losing them. But anyway, the product that I sent off was received at the service center about 2 weeks ago. And again, I thought all was well. I had gotten a link from the company where I could track the status of my repair. And I thought how 21st century of it all to be able to track the status of your repair as it's going through and not just have to wonder how long it's going to take. Well, the status never changed from en route, even though the product was already at their service center. I began to wonder after about a week. And so I got on the line with their customer service, and they said, "Don't worry, everything's fine. Don't worry about it. It will be fine. This is how long stuff takes, and it will be fine." And I didn't have a huge amount of time, so I didn't question it. I got off the phone. Another couple of days went by, and I decided to try to call the service center directly. Well, they did have a phone number, but they did not answer that phone. It was just an outgoing message where you couldn't leave a message, and rather grumpily telling you that they don't answer calls, they don't return calls, and if you just show up, well, they may or may not talk to you. Well, at this point, I was beginning to think a little bit differently about this company that I've been recommending for 20 years, and I let another couple of days go by, and I called their main number again, and I said, "I tried to call your service center, and I got this really surly message." And they said, "Oh, I'm sorry, we'll put a message in our system telling them to call you, and everything will be fine, they will call you." Another couple of days go by, no call from the service center. I'm not surprised, honestly, because with an outgoing message like that, you could tell they weren't terribly into customer service at that location. And so just today, I decided to call the main support number again. And at this point, I'd like to point out it's been about 2.5 weeks, almost 3 weeks, since the initial contact. I kind of bullied them a little bit. I hate to be what you'd call a Karen, but I did bully them a little bit into just trying to contact that service center and tell me at least did they agree that the thing had been received and do they have any sort of ETA. After being on hold for 20 minutes, I got the message back. Yes, they've got it. They don't know exactly when they'll get it back to you, but it will probably be in about the next 10 days or so. And, call us if it's been longer than that, but don't worry, everything will be fine. I got to tell you, my opinion of this company's gone way downhill. They still make great products. They do, and I'd still recommend them. But one of the things that I really had always expected would be, in the rare case when something broke, that I'd be able to depend on them for that. I've had products of theirs that have lasted me 15 years. And they're good products, solidly built stuff that doesn't likely break. And so you'd think that their service centers would be pretty lonely places. And yet they're so busy, obviously, that they can't even pick up the phone. That's the end of the story, and I know it's gone on a little bit too long already. But if you're feeling the pain of listening to that story, just imagine how I feel living it. And why am I bringing this up to you? Because when you get a bad customer service experience, no matter how good the product is, it's going to make you think twice about buying that product. And at Signal Group, we know that. At Signal Group, we try never to treat anybody like that. Oh, we do have customer contacts that go on for weeks, but that's because we're offering helpful information and customers keep coming back to us for more. If you have a need, if you have a question, if you're confused, if you don't know what to buy, or if what you bought doesn't seem to do what you thought it did, you can call us. You know, we don't have an overseas call center. We don't have people who read scripts. We don't make you press a pound or 3 or 2 any number of times just to get a human. What we do is we answer the phone. Yes, you're going to get a recording the first time. I will admit it. It's a sad fact in the 21st century that nobody has a receptionist anymore. But once you get to the right place, you're going to stay in that place. Somebody's going to answer that phone call, and they're going to know the answer to what you need. And if they don't know the answer right away, they're going to go to somebody else on the team, because we've got people who are qualified in all of our products, the most expensive ones to the least expensive ones. And we all work together to solve customer problems. We don't string things out. We don't lie to customers and just say, oh, don't worry, it'll be fine, it'll be fine, it'll be fine. We don't do that. And we don't try to transfer people off into nowhere or give callback messages that never actually turn into something. That's just not the Signal Group way. We recognize that customer service is a responsibility. It's the way that we show you, the customer, how grateful we are for your business. We think about that every day. And you can ask the folks who work with our Signal Group technicians. Whenever they ask for somebody's name, email address, and phone number, they'll get it so they can call them right back and not have to go through the phone tree over and over again. They'll talk to somebody and they'll get somebody on the line who remembers them from the last time. They won't have to tell the whole story over and over again. And it doesn't matter if you're talking about a $50,000 installation or a $5 remote control. It's all about customer service. It's all about taking care. And that's why I'm proud to work for a company that really understands that. And boy, does it kind of chafe me when I work with a company that doesn't. You're probably the same. You probably dread having to talk to customer service in anything because you're afraid that you're never going to get what you want. You're just pretty sure of it because it's so rare in the 21st century to get what you want. But the odd thing is, we try to buck that trend. We try and we succeed. That's who we are at Signal Group. If you don't believe me, I understand. Give us a try. If you have a question about any of the products offered at solidsignal.com, if you need something for your business, for your boat, for your RV, for your home, for your car, anything in the digital communications realm, whether it's government, institutional, lodging, apartments, satellite, cellular, whatever, if you can kind of communicate with it, chances are we sell it and we support it. So give us a call. Try us out. The number 888-233-7563. That's 888-233-7563. Tell them Stuart sent you. That's not going to get you any further because you're going to get great service whether or not you tell them Stuart sent you. That just makes me look good. Speaking of making me look good, I sure would appreciate if you would like, subscribe, and comment on this podcast. It makes me look good to my bosses, and I always appreciate that because just like everybody else at Signal Group, I recognize that you are the ones who really make a difference. You are the ones who are the reason that I'm here. That's about it for the Solid Signal podcast for this week. listen again next week, and we'll be back with a whole new perspective and a whole new bunch of stuff. Until then, have a great week.